At Vocational College UGM, we believe that education extends beyond the classroom. We are dedicated to providing a transformative learning experience that prepares students for success in their chosen careers. Vocational College UGM remains committed in addressing societal issues at the local and national level by actively collaborating with diverse stakeholders in research endeavors. In addition to conducting research programs, we also actively engage in community service initiatives to make tangible contributions to the nation. Vocational College UGM offers a wide range of student activities and fosters an environment that encourages students to explore their interests and talents. This supportive setting allows students to unleash their creativity and potential. As we construct the future, we are committed to promote excellent teaching and learning activities and research to produce competent graduates who actively contribute to the advancement of Indonesia. Vocational College UGM, education for real work and beyond.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to today's IISMA 2024 info session with University of Nottingham. This event is brought to you by Vocational College Universitas Gadjah Mada in collaboration with University of Nottingham, United Kingdom. I would like to extend a warm welcome and express my gratitude to the Honorable Dr. Endang Sulistiawati, Vice Dean for Cooperation and Alumni Vocational College Universitas Gadjah Mada, the Honorable Ms. Alfatika Aunurilia Dini, SHMKN PhD, the Head of Subdirectorate of International Affairs of Universitas Gadjah Mada, the Honorable Mr. Bagus Putra Muljadi PhD, the Distinguished Lecturer of University of Nottingham as the keynote speaker for today's event, the Honorable Ms. Shannon Beverstock, Global Engagement Manager, University of Nottingham, the Honorable Ms. Christine Koch, Business Development Manager of Aerospace Institute, the Honorable Representative of IISMA teams, and all the participants for attending this event. Additionally, a special welcome to our viewers on YouTube. In addition to Zoom, we also have live streaming this event on the YouTube channel of Sekolah Vokasi Universitas Gadjah Mada. I am Ratna Padikasari, you can call me Ratna, and I will be serving you as the Master of Ceremony in this session. We are honored to have a special speaker from the University of Nottingham, Mr. Bagus Putra Muljadi PhD. Good evening, sir. It's wonderful to have you here.
Hi, good evening. Good evening. Good to see you, Dr. Endang, Dr. Alfe, Dr. Alfatika. Thank you so much for having us here.
All right, we are also happy to have one of the IISMA alumni from the University of Nottingham, to Bagus Fikri Ramadan, who will share his experiences from his time studying at the University of Nottingham. Good evening, Vicky.
Good evening, Ratna, and nice to see you again, Mr. Bagus.
Enjoy, Mas Bro.
Enjoy, Mas.
Okay, before we get started, allow me to outline today's session plan and the house rule or etiquette for this session. This webinar will be start with the first one opening, and then singing Indonesia's national anthem Indonesia Raya, and then remark by Dr. Endang Sulistiawati, and then remark by Ms. Alfatika Nurilia Dini, SHMKN PhD, and then the University of Nottingham info session and Q&A by Mr. Bagus Putra Muljadi PhD, and then alumni sharing session with Bagus Fikri Ramadan. And lastly, we will have closing follow with attendance form that will be shared through the chat box. And then please also follow the house rule of today's event, which are: first, the events will be held in full English. Second, the entire session will be recorded. Third, participants are requested not to interrupt the speaker when the speaker is delivering the material. Fourth, participants will have the opportunity to deliver their questions to the presenter by typing the question on the Zoom or YouTube chat box. Fifth, participants can only send questions on the question and answer session, which will be open after Each presenter has presented their material. We would appreciate it if you can open your camera if the moderator chooses your question to be addressed. And to help the committee identify your account, please rename it using the following format: name underscore home institute, example, Fatimah underscore Universitas Gadjah Mada. And before we get into our conversation, please take action with courtesy to sing Indonesia's national anthem, Indonesia Raya. Media team, the screen is yours. Next, we will have a remark by Dr. Endang Sulistiawati, Vice Dean for Cooperation and Alumni in Vocational College Universitas Gadjah Mada. For Dr. Endang, the screen is yours.
Thank you. Thank you. Okay. Good afternoon from Indonesia. Good evening for Mr. Bagus Putra Mulyadi from UK. Nice to meet you again. Our dean would like to extend his gratitude for this kind of occasion. It's a great moment for all the participants to learn from Mr. Bagus Putra Mulyadi, the lecturer in the University of Nottingham. Thank you for the occasion. Thank you for the time. And also I would like to say hi to Ms. Shannon Pevstock from the Global Engagement and Ms. Christine Ko from the Business Development in University of Nottingham. I also would like to extend my gratitude also. Thank you for Mas Tubagus Vicky Ramadan for the time to share about the experience while being in Nottingham, to learn and to have a great moment during the IISMA program there. So without further ado, I would like to say once again, thank you for all the chance, opportunity. Hopefully that all the participants attending this session would be able to understand more about University of Nottingham. And that would be a great also experience for them to try to apply. And hopefully the participant would be able to get the great opportunity to be one of the awardees in this IISMA this year. So once again, thank you. Hopefully what we shared today would be able to give more information for the participants who would like to apply for the IISMA program. And definitely that would be a great thing also for the participants to understand further once they graduate from the bachelor, to be able later to try to apply for the master and the PhD in University of Nottingham. Once again, thank you for all the support from the head of the subdirectorate of the International Partnership, Ms. Alfatika. Thank you to all the head of the departments and study programs and all the OIA in all universities attending this session. Thank you so much and good evening.
Thank you very much, Dr. Endang. And next, we will also have a remark by the head of the Subdirectorate of International Affairs Universitas Gadjah Mada, Ms. Alfatika Aunurialadini, SH, MKN, PhD. For Ms. Tika, the screen is yours.
Okay, thank you so much, Mbak Ratna. And I would like to say thank you for Bu Endang and also for Professor Bagus Mulyadi for making your time to fill in the info session for vocational school today. But I would like to say, I would like to express the highest appreciation for the deanship of the vocational college, because I was just informed that they're very generous because they enables this event this evening, not only for UGM students, but also for students outside UGM. So I would like I would like to encourage all the students who are attending this event today to take advantage of the discussions for today's event, because we have good news here. The IISMA deadline for this year is extended to 19th of February. So you still have time to prepare for everything, and therefore we hold this event today to help you preparing in your application for IISMA. And apart from the IISMA bootcamp that we already hold for last week and this week, this is an extension for the IISMA bootcamp, but for the vocational version. And I also would like to remind for students of UGM that the target for this year is that we are aiming for 1,000 students registering for IISMA program this year. So it's a bit of hard work, not only for me, but also for the students and also Bu Endang and her team. And I would like also to note that University of Nottingham, being one of our partner for vocational IISMA, we are hoping that we are getting more and more registrants for this year to University of Nottingham. And one crucial information as an additional information is that for the conversion of credit unit for IISMA program, I heard that from Bu Endang, it will be converted into the maximum possible credit conversion or SKS at the vocational school. So this should be an encouragement for the students, because from other study program, Bu Endang, we still have many, technical difficulties in the conversion of the credit unit. So I hope that all the students here can take advantage of this program, having a fruitful discussion with the Professor Bagus Mulyadi, as well as with other students. We have an alumni here. Mas Tu Bagus, thank you so much for making your time. And I would like to close the speech with the pantun or with the poem. Ada kaos, ada tongkat. Dengerin Mas Bagus bikin semangat. Buah jeruk, buah kedondong, yuk pada daftar IISMA dong. Thank you. I'll hand over the screen to Mbak Ratna. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much, Ms. Tika. And without further ado, I would like to introduce my fellow Nadifa Rizkita Agustina. Nadifa is also an alumni of IISMA 2022 in Coventry University. Nadifa will be the moderator of today's session and discussion. Nadifa, the screen is yours.
All right, thank you so much, Ratna, for a lovely introduction. Good day, ladies and gentlemen, distinguished guests, and all participants. Welcome to the University of Nottingham 2024 IISMA session. First, let me introduce myself again. My name is Nadifa Rizkita Agustina, 2022 IISMA awardee to Coventry University, United Kingdom. It is my utmost pleasure for me to be the moderator guiding today's material and also Q&A session with our speakers, who are Mr. Bagus Putra Mulyadi, as a lecturer at the University of Nottingham and coordinator of UK-Indonesia Consortium for Interdisciplinary Sciences, or UK-ICIS. We also have Tu Bagus Vicky Ramadan as 2023 IISMA awardee to the University of Nottingham. All right. Both of our speakers will surely share information regarding the University of Nottingham, especially for this year's IISMA program, be it the preparation to apply, selection process, and also the experience of becoming an awardee. That sounds very interesting, right? So we will exclusively get to know in depth of those key topics. Now, before we start the first session, let me tell you about the basic rules during this session. First of all participants need to make sure that the microphone is muted. Second, the participant may also ask any questions regarding the material through chat box during the presentation and or turn on the raise hand feature in the Q&A session, and also we will let you to turn on your microphone and ask the question directly to our speaker. Okay, so before just let's go to the next session, the first one. We have Mr. Bagus Putra Mulyadi, PhD, who is an assistant professor of chemical and environmental engineering at the University of Nottingham with a joint affiliation with Virginia Tech, United States. Prior to joining Nottingham University, he was also a postdoctoral research associate at Earth Science and Engineering, Imperial College London, and at Institut de Mathématiques de Toulouse, France. Mr. Bagus is also the steering committee coordinator of the UK-Indonesia Consortium for Interdisciplinary Sciences, or UKICIS, a consortium of research-intensive universities where Nottingham is a founding member of. He is known as the recipient of Vice Chancellor's Medal 2021 in recognition of his outstanding contribution to the university. So let's get to the first material session, which will be presented by Mr. Bagus Putra Mulyadi, PhD. And now Mr. Bagus has already joined in this room with us today. Hello, sir.
Hello, Nadifa. Good to hear from you. Thank
Yeah,
you.
good morning, I guess. Yeah, good morning there in the UK. It's still morning, right?
It is, yes. It's fairly cold.
Yeah,
Good afternoon to you all.
yeah,
And
thank you. Okay, how are you today, sir?
I'm tired but energized. Yesterday we had early election for Indonesian in the UK, so I traveled
Yeah.
to London as well as many other thousands of
Yeah,
Indonesians.
yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. Wow, that sounds really great. Yeah, I saw at the other time in your Instagram about you as one of the witnesses there in the election in the United Kingdom.
Yes, it's an important job, by the way.
Yeah,
We have
yeah,
to partake in this celebration.
sure.
Yeah.
Okay, then. Okay, thank you, sir. And also besides Mr. Bagus, we also have Miss Shannon Beverstock, the Global Engagement Manager, and Miss Christine Koch, the Business Development Manager of Aerospace Institute, that will present about updated collaboration between University of Nottingham and Universitas Gadjah Mada, including dual degree and other potential collaboration. So without any further ado, to Mr. Bagus, Miss Shannon, and also Miss Christine, time is on your side.
Thank you so much, colleagues, students here. I'm very honored to always, as has been always the case, every time we host events with UGM, we have welcomed a high-ranking delegation from your university. Nottingham and UGM are very close together, and I must say that although I don't graduate from UGM, I'm very honored to be working with the finest Indonesian university. Yeah, almost at the same time with ITB, but also finest. But anyways, UGM is a friend to University of Nottingham, and attending with me today is Miss Shannon Beverstock, the global manager for the University of Nottingham, who will talk a little bit about the collaborations outside the scope of IISMA as well, because I see here attending in the audience also some academics and some global manager from the UGM as well, and some students who might be interested in collaborating further beyond the scope of IISMA. So if I may, Shannon, can I cue you in to talk a little bit about U21, about double degree, and how it can potentially extend to other fields?
Of course. Thank you, Vegas. Good morning, everyone from Nottingham, and good afternoon to everyone in Yogyakarta. It's so nice to be here today. Our partnership with UGM is such a huge part of our engagement with Indonesia. So the University of Nottingham actually has an Indonesia strategy. We are committed to engagement with Indonesia as a region, but Universitas Gadjah Mada really sits at the top of that engagement. And we can see that through so much of our activity between our universities. Now, there's a few things I'll talk about today, but I think for the students here today, just to keep in mind that IISMA is really one of the first steps on your journey to collaboration with global universities. And Nottingham UGM is such a fantastic example of that. Now, we are part of the Universitas 21 network, which UGM joined in 2023. That was something which the University of Nottingham facilitated and supported throughout that journey of joining the network. And that network is made up of research-intensive universities around the world which are committed to collaborating on a global level. So UGM is part of that, and we're really proud to have supported you to become a part of that network. Our vice-chancellors worked really hard together to do that, and I think their strong relationship is such a testament to our collaboration. One of the things that we are doing together is our dual degree program with engineering. So we will have some students joining from UGM in the next year or so from UGM, and we're really excited to welcome them also to campus. So it's not just the IISMA students who are coming to us, but it's students from across the university, and we hope to broaden that partnership, that dual degree program, to other faculties at UGM in the future. And then we also have quite a strong collaboration growing with the Faculty of Biology at UGM. Our Faculty of Science and Faculty of Medicine and Health Sciences are really committed to building the collaboration with the Faculty of Biology. Particularly last year, some of our professors did a guest lecture at the Faculty of Biology Summer School. Two of our professors from the Faculty of Science, so Professor Mike George and one of our professors in chemistry. So that is really testament to their commitment as well to building that, and we are hoping to do that again this year. We also will have this year a visit by our Deputy Vice-Chancellor to UGM to further strengthen that partnership and grow our activity between the universities. Bagus has asked me to say a little bit about Nottingham as well today, so I'll just say a little bit before I hand back. I have had the pleasure to visit the campus at UGM, and I think what I would say is if you feel at home on the UGM campus, you will feel at home on the Nottingham campus. Both of them are such beautiful nature-filled spaces that I think whichever one you're in, you're going to be in a great space. So I think that's another thing that makes our partnership so balanced, is our students will feel at home on both of our campuses. So I really hope to see some of you next term on our campus. It's not so warm, but it's, I think, equally beautiful, especially in the autumn term. You might see behind me, I've got a virtual background of the autumn leaves framing our beautiful Trent building. So that's just a little taste of what our campus is like during that term. So yeah, I'll hand back to you, Bagus, but thank you so much. And I'm so happy to be here and answer any questions as well at the end of this session.
Thank you very much. Also attending here, I see Mbak Risa Bakhtiar from IISMA UK and Ireland team. So Mbak Risa, thank you very much for attending this session. There's probably some questions relevant to you later. And I have a presentation, and before I hand it over to Christine later to talk a little more in depth about aerospace industries. So let me share my screen. All right, the talk mainly going to discuss about experience industry at Nottingham, but UGM and UON has had long history of collaboration. So both, apart from being part of the Universitas 21 consortium, also the founding member of the UK-Indonesia Consortium for Interdisciplinary Sciences, the UKCIS. So we established the MOU in 2020. And if you go to gov.uk, which is a formal official UK government website, and then you search for UK-Indonesia Partnership Roadmap 2022 and 2024, this is a document that undergird UK-Indonesia partnership portfolio and the blueprint for the next couple of years. You would find that under research and innovation, the UK-CIS, that consortium that we both established, were featured as the only consortium that foster research and innovation together. And along with it come commitment for funding by the two governments. The Indonesian government had issued LPDP funding entitled Rispro UK-CIS that UGM administers several projects within. And we are keen to collaborating further with UGM. So the idea about UK-Indonesia, the idea about UN UGM collaboration is that we wish for that collaboration to be upscaled so that it encompasses bilateral relationship that through the students coming to the UK and vice versa, through our students in the future coming to UGM, we create stronger bridge through which the Indonesian people and government and then the UK counterparts can collaborate and further enjoy learning and studying experience as if there were no borders. So that's the idea. Now, that's also a personal goal of mine, but I would start my presentation with this. We are a home of Nottingham Forest. So I grew up in the 90s. So I look at Premier League at the time when Nottingham Forest was still very dominant. And now they are back at Premier League. And it is just 10 to 15 minutes away from where I sit right now, the stadium. And they are likely to be in Premier League again in September. So this is the figure about a year ago when they beat Chelsea 1-0. And this is something that I hope to enjoy with you when you come. Although I'm not a season card holder, but I'm sure we got several colleagues of mine that can facilitate us going there together one day. So Nottingham is not just Nottingham Forest. There's Nottingham University there, and we are QS World Top 100 University. And we are part of the consortium called Russell Group University, which is a group of 20-something university that administer over 2/3 of the whole UK funding portfolio. So we are a very research-intensive university, along with the likes of Cambridge, Oxford, Imperial, Durham, and others. And we have a strong research portfolio, which will be manifested in some of the projects that you will be involved in. And some of our industry partners are involved in this research portfolio. So Christine later will talk a little bit about some of the industries that we work with and which is our heavy hitters. And these are people that either come to Nottingham or those industries that you would visit during your time here. So I'm going to delve a little bit into that in the next slides. We are also Nobel Prize winning university. So the late Sir Peter Mansfield and Sir Clive Granger won respective Nobel Prize in their respective fields. Sir Peter Mansfield won it for inventing MRI for medicine use. And so we have the legacy of using MRI, which is magnetic resonance imaging facilities that you go to check your internal organs or your brain if you get hemorrhage or anything like that. But in Nottingham, we use it for contexts outside medicine and not just medicine. So even as an applied mathematician and a geologist, I still use the facilities for my own research. So we are very strong in that regard. And also in economy, where Sir Clive Granger invented some contributions in the field. So this is the picture from the visit of Princess of Wales to Nottinghamshire in 2022. And we offer two strands of courses. So one focuses heavily on sustainable mobility, the other one on aerospace industries. But because the prerogative is in the UGM to transfer the credits to your respective schools, basically all that we are offering is very interdisciplinary in nature. Because in the UK, and this is something that I also would like to consult Indonesian academics and other universities to try to emulate, is that some of the works that we do is very transdisciplinary. So we get a PhD student in aerospace department, for example, conducting research on the cognition of pilots and the cognitive ability of pilots when they endure critical events, highly stressful situations. And this calls for other disciplines to collaborate with psychology departments. And I also have a colleague down my alley who is a geospatial professor. So he used remote sensing and satellites and to try to tackle human trafficking problems and slavery. And these are the nature of the works that we work at Nottingham, and some of the interdisciplinary culture that we want the students to enjoy as well. So if you are students from chemical engineering or aerospace or mechanical maintenance, instrumentations or other branches of vocational school, don't get discouraged just because you see the word aerospace or mechanical here. Most likely some of the things that we cater to and discuss will be relevant to you too, like aerospace, for example. You're talking about green fuel, chemical engineers certainly are involved in that. And later on, Vicky could also probably discuss a little bit about the drone project that they are involved in. Now, these are the English criteria set by the IISMA team as well, but I believe that during the past 2 years of our experience delivering IISMA, the students' English proficiency has been quite outstanding, and we have really great relationship with them, and they had no problem whatsoever to follow the materials at Nottingham and to enjoy cultural events alongside it. So yeah, these are the economic impact of the University of Nottingham. We always keep track about our contribution, and we had some cultural events. Nottingham University is clearly the hub for cultural engagement in the city of Nottingham and the broader region of Nottinghamshire that I hope you will partake in through our student bodies, for example, that you can befriend and you can invite to our cultural events. And I would like you to immerse in the living of students in Nottingham and not just confining yourself in a classroom. There's a lot more opportunities that you can enjoy, but it also depends on your proactivity. If you're the kind of students that just sit in the dormitory room and never go outside, there's only a limited amount of experience that you can enjoy. But if you are proactive, there's a lot more for you. These are examples of some of the modules that we provided for you. If you can take a look at some of the entries in this table, there are some very technical modules like computational method, fluid mechanics that I offer myself. But then there are also talks by other professors from wide-ranging disciplines. There are also workshops that is very general, but very useful, and in fact, very expensive if you were to access this other than within the context of IISMA, like Lean Six Sigma workshop. Industry leaders join this certified workshop for a very expensive fee, but IISMA students are able to access this facilitated by Christine later, who will talk a little bit more about that as well. We got also career coaching sessions by Professor Vince Pizzoni, who is a very strong partners of our industry partners at Chemical Engineering, teaching you about how to curate your LinkedIn profile, your CV, your resume, and other fields that can contribute towards the success of you getting a good career in industry. All of these professors, all of these conveners, they will then have some idea of you and perhaps be able to provide you with recommendation letters should you be interested in finding a job somewhere, anywhere in the world. And if you continue your postgraduate study in Nottingham, for example, you will benefit from graduate visa after your study. You could seek jobs in the UK or anywhere in the world. So I think I cannot stress enough the importance of recommendations and good knowledge of yourself from figures in academia or industries who can be your ally in the future. So these are some of the materials that I can welcome questions from you about. Now, these are some of the industry partners that you will have the chance to either visit or listen to when they visit the University of Nottingham. We got heavy hitters like Airbus, for example. We visited Airbus, which is a very big manufacturing industry, creating the likes of Airbus 380s and those fleets that you know that you use when you travel from the UK to Indonesia and vice versa. These are not just industries that anybody can access, by the way. There are some industries that people can access because they open their facilities to public at a fee, for example, like JCB or others. These are industries that you can only access if you are partners of the university. And because we are strategically placed in the Midlands area and we hold very highly valuable but secretive projects with them, we are trusted to take some of our students to learn from them, including ACOM, Pricewaterhouse. We have a speaker from PwC last year during our vice chancellor events as well. And Rolls-Royce is in red font there because they just confirmed, which Christine later can talk about, that they are willing to partner IISMA and to cater visits to their sites. Rolls-Royce is not too far away from Nottingham. These are big companies that create not only the car that you know, but also aircraft engines and others. Okay, these are some pretty images. It gets me nostalgic a little bit. These are the cohorts of 2022. I think at the backdrop of their top right figure is Woollerton Hall. This is where Dark Knight was shot. I think that's Bruce Wayne Manor there. So I think I saw one of the scenes in the movie where they hold the funeral there. It's a very vast facility, very beautiful, and it's just a doorstop away. It's just next door from the University of Nottingham. You can enjoy lunch there if it's not too cold. And there are some wildlife activities. There are deers. There are many things that you probably cannot enjoy in Jakarta, where I'm from, or I don't know if there are something like that in Yogyakarta. And at the top right, at the bottom right figure, that's Airbus facility that this cohort of 2023 also enjoy visiting. Now, these are largely pictures from 2023. There are some visits to ACOM, and some of the students enjoy our flight simulation facility there, which is very immersive facility where you can enjoy or experience what pilot would in a situation realistic to takeoff, landing, and flights in general. And there are some cultural activities here. Some of our students engaging local students, making batik together and demonstrating Balinese dances and others. These are, I think, personally, I would like to see and facilitate more because Indonesia really needs to showcase their rich heritage and culture. And I, for one, also am an Indonesian and would like to facilitate more of these similar events to take place. And we have great halls, we have great lecture room facilities, good green spaces where you can host this kind of event. Shannon has been very helpful in organizing these events and would likely to continue to do so in 2024. Okay. Now, these are some of the visits that we do in a subsidiary of Airbus, Texturjet, creating advanced materials there. And if you are interested in getting to know what the students are doing daily, you can visit our Instagram page, IISMA_Nottingham there. There are some videos about the visits to Airbus and other companies like that. You could also enjoy our cultural events, and because of strong engagement activities we do with Indonesia in general, you could also enjoy some of our guest speakers providing lectures at Nottingham. So, for example, we have former trade minister visiting us last year, and in the audience is the cohort of 2023, including Mas Vicky there, attending the lectures. And we have governors coming to Nottingham. We have vice ministers, Minister Risma, Governor Kofifa, the likes of which have visited Nottingham. And you could enjoy not just technical materials in the classroom, but you also can enjoy the relevance of some of the things that you learn in the classroom in the context of Indonesia growing together and migrating from resource-based to knowledge-based economy, which we all want to do. You could enjoy skating, with student bodies. But the most important thing that I want to highlight here is that the right figure there. So there are some bespoke research activities that you can enjoy, which I'm going to emulate in 2024. So some of our students in 2023 came to me during the beginning of the October last year, and they said they want to do final project tugas akhir, and then they have this brilliant idea about making drones. And once you are part of the University of Nottingham, you can access academics and world-class experts in their own respective fields, which I can facilitate for you. So these students would like to make a drone, and we have great drone facilities and student critical mass that have a very wealth of experience in making projects like that. So we communicated this intention to my colleagues, and they ended up making final projects together. And the collaboration continues even after you finish your tenure at IISMA Nottingham. So these academics can then be part of your supervisory board. If you're thinking creatively, you could access all of these experts. And because I'm one of the academics as well, I can say in some certainty that these people are very interested in collaborating with you, because these students coming to the UK or Nottingham, these are highly qualified students that academics here truly appreciates as partners, as mentee, but also as future students together, or even postdocs in the future. So there you go, you get more links. And if you got some great ideas coming here, one of the great advantages of coming to Nottingham is its ability to cater to bespoke requests like this, to tailored requests like this. So if you want to join Formula Team at Nottingham, this is the figure in Formula Team. Nottingham has a great Formula Team. You're making electric cars. You can enjoy that. You could make a group of 5 or 6, and then this is Dr. Surojit Sen, I think, at the right, and you can see him. You can bring your final project, and then we will make sure that you can have meaningful couple of weeks or even months of experience that can extend beyond ISMA when you go back home. And some of the students still maintain good relationship with them. They do Zoom meetings and other fun activities together. Now, we are very close with, like I said, broader Indonesian stakeholders. The ambassador, Pak Desra Percaya, the education attaché, has visited Nottingham several times. And this is the figure of him meeting with our vice chancellor, with the cohorts and the student bodies there. There are some local faces. Christine is there and others. So we are very welcoming you to become part of a great Nottingham family. And through our visits to the country several times this year, and whenever we do alumni events and gathering, we want you to be there as part of our graduates. So I think that's the last thing that we do today. Well, these are some of the engagement activities we do with Indonesia. And I think we hold the UK Indonesia Higher Education Forum in 2022. That's our vice chancellor at the left figure, with university leaders in Indonesia from ITS, UGM, and ITB and others, because we are part of the UKCHIS consortium. Now, we would like to involve you more in these activities as students of ISMA Nottingham, in your own capacity, in your own time, and we hope for more creative ideas to collaborate with you, because we always see students and staff alike from Indonesia coming to the UK as agents for knowledge exchange, and we believe that through us, collaboration not only between institutions but also between the two countries can be fostered stronger together. And with that, I would like to end my presentation, giving it to Christine right now, who probably has a couple of slides to show. Christine, over to you.
Yes, hello, thank you very much. I am trying to pull up my slides right now. Do you still have them on your computer as well, the ones I used last time, Bagus? I think that would help me to not to have to. Okay, share screen. There we go. Not sure if anything is happening yet. Is it sharing? Can anyone give me a little clue?
Yeah, oh,
I've just tried to share, or are we both trying to share at the moment? Sorry. Okay, thank you. Okay, thank you, Bagus. So I think it's up now on everyone's screen. Sorry for the little techie bit here. So hello, good afternoon. Again, my name is Christine Koch. I'm the Business Development Manager at the Institute for Aerospace Technology at the University of Nottingham. And it's a real pleasure to be here and to give you a little bit of an introduction on aerospace, which is a really a strong field of research at the University of Nottingham. I dare say that we are one of the aerospace universities in the UK simply because we work across a wide range of topics. So a lot of universities will have developed specialization in a certain area, but at Nottingham we really work, across the systems to the engines, frames, materials, which I'll try to introduce you to right now. So if we go to the next slide. We've got a little introduction to the Institute for Aerospace Technology and why it was funded. And it really kind of speaks and showcases just how interdisciplinary our research is at Nottingham. So the engineering department is very big at Nottingham across all the different disciplines. And so aerospace research sits everywhere within them. And in order to sort of create a face for aerospace at Nottingham and to make it easier to work with our external, especially our industry partners, the Institute for Aerospace Technology was funded back in 2009. And so we represent aerospace research, we represent our academics here, and we really broker that working together between all those various industry partners and our academics and researchers at Nottingham. So we do not only represent academic staff, but researchers as well as PhD students as well. So we host cohorts of PhD students, one of whom Bagus actually just mentioned, who did his thesis on human factors, basically within the aerospace context. If we go to the next slide, we have a little overview of the themes that we work in. And so, all across from propulsion to aerospace electrification, manufacturing as well, manufacturing methodologies, and aerospace operations, which sits a bit more in the computer sciences. So algorithms, for example, that are being used at airports, that falls into this field. And then aerospace materials and structures, so composites, advanced materials would be covered under that. Again, you can see how cross-cutting and across the board this is. And this is not just something that applies for aerospace research at Nottingham, but also for automotive or maritime or whichever sort of other industrial area we work with. You'll find that there is often a very cross-cutting approach to what industry require, basically. If we go to the next slide, we have a few topics listed around technologies for decarbonization. So we're very much working on the forefront of the technology developments required, internationally speaking, really, to make aviation greener, to cut down CO2 emissions. And so there's a big electrification group that we have that works in that area. We have a few chemists also looking around sustainable aviation fuels. We have capabilities developing around hydrogen to be used as a fuel on aircraft. And so a lot of these works that we do take place on our Jubilee campus, where we have a range of facilities where our researchers work on these topics. And it's really, I think what excites me every time I talk about this, these are technologies that will be flying in a few years' time. Project development within aerospace takes a bit longer than compared to automotive, for example. But eventually, whatever we're working on, we know, because it is in collaboration with our industrial partners, because it is very close to pushing it to get it commercialized. Those are technologies that, one day you'll be sitting in an aircraft and there might be a piece of that puzzle in that big machine that was actually developed in Nottingham. So if we go to the next slide, we've got a little overview of our participation in one of the biggest European aerospace development projects. So that's called Clean Aviation Joint Undertaking. And it's the flagship project in Europe where industry such as Airbus, Rolls-Royce, Safran, Fraunhofer, etc., where they collaborate throughout Europe to create these new technologies I've been talking about. And to give you, I mean, this slide really is to kind of show you the scale of our participation in that program. So the total funding that they put out at the current program is 4 billion euros. And at Nottingham alone, we have a project portfolio of, a bit over 60 million euros. So you can see how chunky that is. And we are the fourth highest by participation budget. So that gives you an idea of just how much research is taking place at Nottingham within this big flagship program. And they want to basically replace, I think it's 75% of the world's current fleet by 2035 in order to become carbon neutral or to reach that net zero goal by 2050. So it's a very, very ambitious program. If we go to the next slide then, please. These are just some images of those technology demonstrators that we work on. Those that work in engineering that maybe know a bit about aerospace should have heard of the Rolls-Royce UltraFan, which is like the biggest aerospace engine in the world at the moment. It's a research engine. It doesn't have an aircraft to go on yet, but there are a lot of new technologies that are being developed on there, and we're a partner on that project. Same with all the other projects that you can see here with Airbus, with Leonardo helicopter. Everything is looking at, next generation. How do we cut down CO2 emissions, and how do we develop very new technologies such as hydrogen as a fuel on flight. If we go to the next slide, please. This will be my final slide. So this kind of shows you our network of partners, really. This is, I think a lot of these logos are familiar to you, and we have, with a lot of these partners, strategic relationships in place. With Airbus, for example, we have a professor, actually an Airbus chair at Nottingham. With Rolls-Royce, we are a university that hosts 2 university technology centers that are directly funded by Rolls-Royce. So one is on wing repair, and the other one is on propulsion systems. And so, you'll have a chance to visit those facilities. Rolls-Royce itself is only 15 to 20 minutes away from Nottingham, so we should have an opportunity as well to visit them on site through the relationships that we have with them. The same with the Airbus visit that we offer. It's their wing assembly line in Broughton. And I think that the nice thing we do with that visit is that we combine it with certain methods around manufacturing and improving manufacturing. Bagus already mentioned the Lean Six Sigma workshop that we do. It's, excuse me, those are just very general managerial methodologies that you get to learn at Nottingham, where you look at, how do you set up a plant to cut down waste? How do you make your operations as efficient as possible? And especially in an industry such as aerospace, security and quality are very, standards are very, very high. And so how do you streamline that process? And so you'll have that workshop at Nottingham, you'll have that training, and then you'll go and see how companies such as Airbus and Rolls-Royce do that in real life. Like, how do they set up this manufacturing plan that's going to deliver, 60 aircrafts in a month, and how those security standards are just there's hardly any margin for mistake possible, because we can't have aircrafts falling out of the sky. So those are really exciting programs. If you don't have a strict aerospace background, you're doing engineering, or even if you're, maybe from a business background, it shouldn't keep you away. I know this was a very aerospace focused presentation, but as Bagus has already said, a lot of the things we do they are cross-cutting, they're cross-disciplinary. So yeah, I hope this was a good introduction. You will have opportunities to visit these companies. These companies will come and talk at the University of Nottingham. And I think the last piece I would like to emphasize is that this is the ecosystem the university works in. Our researchers, our professors work with these companies. They work very close in the commercialization and higher technology readiness areas. So their knowledge, when they come to the classroom, when they teach, when they hold seminars, they are well informed from that space, if that makes sense. So it's very applicable content that you get to learn and that you get to benefit from, because we have this sort of ecosystem and flow of knowledge going back and forth that's just very relevant to the market and the way the things that will await you when you leave university. You won't be too far off because you're quite close to that ecosystem already, studying at Nottingham with us. So I think I'll end my presentation here, and I'll hand over to the moderators or Bagus, not sure who's going to go
Just
next.
want to add a little bit. Thank you. Yeah, thank you very much, Christian. Just want to add a little bit because you also, well, I took the students, I think early in October last year, to a career fair in London. These are some of the things that we did that I didn't have time to put in the presentations. And Christine also took these students to Birmingham, didn't you, Christine, for what was that again?
Yes, that was the advanced engineering. Sorry, it's a fair basically. The advantage of Nottingham being situated in the Midlands is that you're surrounded by industry. So aerospace is only one of those thriving industries in this area. So you have a lot of companies and events going on where, you know, exhibitions such as the advanced engineering take place, and where you have just great opportunities for networking. So we had students collecting freebies, of course, a lot of
there's a lot of hoodies, yeah.
Yeah, that as well. But no, just networking with companies and just looking at what they're showing. And on these exhibitions, many times you do have recruitment specialists around as well, because local students will go and mingle and try to network there. And so that's also, again, it's a nice event in combination with sort of the career coaching that we offer. There are a few things you can take away and then just kind of try to apply for yourself. And maybe our alumni can speak a little bit on that as well later.
Right. Another thing that I would like to add before I go back to the MC is that last year we gave, I think, both the PIC, sorry, not the PIC, the student lead of the cohort and both IISMA 3 options of housing accommodation. So Nottingham has a big housing facilities, so we got several range of facilities and price points that you can choose from. It would be great if everybody stayed together at one type of facilities, but there are some that are more expensive with ensuite bathroom and catered halls. For example, they give you breakfast, lunch, and dinner, but at more expensive fees. The students last year opted for a cheaper one with shared bathroom and shared kitchen, so you don't have catered hall, but as a result, you have a lot more money that you can save to experience more. Nottingham can cater to that requests, and we have great facilities, dormitories. And Nottingham is a campus, unlike I used to work at Imperial College in London. So most of our universities, including Oxford and Cambridge, they're mostly not campuses. So they are colleges spread out in the cities. Nottingham is a campus. So everything, not everything, but we have 5 campuses in the UK, 5 campuses, 4 or 5, 5 campuses in the UK and 2 in abroad. And these campuses have sport facilities, student dormitories, and all faculties are spread out within the campus. And another thing is that you can join these student activities together. So for example, in 2022, we had one of the students joining Korean dance club. There is such a thing called Korean dance club. I probably would like to join myself. I don't know if I can still pass on as a Korean. And then there is a debate club. There is a UN student club. There is a student in 2022 that was a archery athlete. and she joined activities in Nottingham Archery Club. And Nottingham is one of the finest university when it comes to sports. I think we are number 2, just behind Loughborough University. So most athletes from the UK, including the ping pong champion from China, actually graduated from Nottingham University. We get vast fitness facilities and sports for those who are interested in that kind of stuff. So yeah, really welcoming any questions if you have. You can ask me here or through our email and others. So, Mbak Nadifa, over back to you.
Okay, thank you so much, Mr. Bagus, Miss Shannon, and also Miss Kristen for the great presentation about IISMA, about University of Nottingham, about the collaboration, and also we get to know the advance of aerospace field of the study at the University of Nottingham and how it actually has wider scope in engineering. Well, before I opened the Q&A session, I want to add one thing about IISMA is that it really opens to even more and more tremendous opportunities like doing drone for final project, for example. That's so amazing. And then I also know some of the awardees or many of the awardees who got another scholarship to study abroad after IISMA or like join another student exchange program after IISMA. And also, one of the awardees that mentioned by Mr. Bagus, the one who joined the Korean dance club, is actually a friend of mine, and he mentioned about how fascinating the experience. Yeah, it's George, right?
Yeah, he is. Yeah.
Yes, George told me a lot of things about his experience and how fascinating it is to immerse himself in the society in the University of Nottingham through the things that he actually liked at that time. So yeah, there are a lot of activities that you guys can join in the host university and also the host country in IISMA. Okay, now I will open the Q&A session. For the participant who want to ask any questions regarding the material of the presentation, you may type it on the chat box or just turn on the raise hand feature and I will let you turn on your microphone and ask the questions directly to our speakers here. Is there anyone? Or I think the participants still like gathering the words, like how to express the questions. We will gladly waiting for it. But maybe I want to discuss also about the companies, the big companies in the UK, coming from my experience as one of the awardees in the UK region that it's from our batch. We got to visit big companies in the UK and learn from the industry. So it fully supports the idea of link and match learning method between the campus and also the industry. As Mr. Bagus has also mentioned during the presentation, like a lot of big companies that become the partners of University of Nottingham. Okay, for the participants, is there any questions?
Yeah, just want to add a little bit on that, Nadifa.
Yes.
First of all, there are some universities in the UK that has Indonesian academics acting as a PIC. So Nottingham with me, and then there is Coventry also with Prof. Benny, and there are others. I think I'm not sure if they participate in the Evo strand of the IISMA, but I cannot stress enough how helpful this would be to facilitate specific requests from the students. We don't issue certificate per se. You won't have a degree from the University of Nottingham, but there are some aspects through the fulfillment of your degree at home that you probably want to involve us in. For example, there's one student in ITS, for example, Mbak Rindang, I think Vicky's counterpart, that invited me to join their final kerja praktek exam. How do you call kerja praktek in English? Placement exam. So I would be very happy to join such a thing, and just to explain to your supervisors back home about what exactly you gain in terms of knowledge and experience at the University of Nottingham. Now, speaking of experience, when you visit companies like Airbus, you go there with specific projects. So the cohort that went to Airbus last year, they went there with team from Lean Six Sigma academics. So basically, they are not just there just to look at how wings are made, but they are tasked to think about how you better the layout of the factory. For example, how do you make it more efficient? How do you do assembly in a most effective way? There are some thinking involved in that. So you are encouraged to be immersed in the whole experience as if you're working there. Regardless whether or not you find that fascinating or be aspired to work there or to be involved in projects like that, some of these companies offer graduates programs. So, and they are more than happy to acquire talents from Indonesia. And if there are any follow-ups from that visit, that you are always going to be the part of Nottingham University, you can contact Christine or myself or Shannon to link after you graduate from UGM, for example, to link your career aspiration with them. So, and our academics also will visit Indonesia very often. I give you a quick example on how immersed we are in the culture of, and in terms of our engagement with Indonesia. UGM plays a very special position in UON global engagement strategy, and therefore in our hearts. So I give you a link, for example. This is our Professor Pat Wheeler, visiting Yogyakarta, and join your Ma'iyah session in the residential place of Cak Nun and Mas Sabrang, for example, talking about technologies. Professor Pat Wheeler is a very big professor in terms of research portfolio and resources, because he heads 160 academics, and he's one of the most prominent person in power electronics in Europe, if not in the world. And you can access him very easily. And these people, I cannot stress you enough how important to have these people as your supervisor, your mentor even. And yeah, and it calls for your proactivity to get the best experience as possible. So when you do come, try to absorb all of this experience given. If you get any questions, don't hesitate to ask me, even what you consider more trivial questions like the housing, how do you cope with the food. The food is not too great, I think. Sorry, Shannon. The food is okay, but we'll provide you with a box of Indomie and some chili sauce. Christine can make great chili sauce by now, so.
I see. I think bon cabe is a must to bring in IISMA if people like spicy food, because yeah, there's no other like spicy thing like bon cabe there. Okay, sir, I think we move along to the question here from Adimas Arif Rahman from Batam State Polytechnic. I will try to read the question. So he said that I'm just curious thought that what kind of experience we will have once accepted into the aerospace engineering. Will we have hands-on experience about the jet combustion machine or something like that? Thank you. Okay, so maybe
Okay, I'll let Christian elaborate on this, but I'm going to start with that you're going to have a first-hand experience in terms of being immersed in the projects, for example. Or maybe Vicky can elaborate more. I don't know if you were part of the drone team, Vicky.
No,
So,
sir.
oh, you're not. Okay, so in Airbus, you're really immersed in their making of wings, several wings fleet, and for students who join that drone team, they will be involved in the creation of new prototypes, but also they continue to work with not just academics, but with students. So you will be in a team with Nottingham master and PhD students, or even some postdocs there, working to create new features in unmanned aerial vehicles, for example. So that's really good, because the academics who are supervising you, have had close relationship in terms of industry and research portfolio with these companies. So the research that they do that you can get to know of actually get implemented in the industries. Now, if you're asking me about specific, whether or not you're studying more about the aerodynamics or about the fuel system or about the electrical facet of the technology, we don't know. It depends on case by case basis. And it also depends heavily on your interest. If you're more on the maintenance part of the aircraft, or if you're more on the chemical engineering part of the fuel or the electric parts of the power electronics, it all depends. But like I said, we would like to know you as well. So when you come to Nottingham, you as part of the cohort, I will want to know your interest and your background academic portfolio so that we can create this bespoke project with team that are relevant to you. Now, but there's also core modules like fluid mechanics, like advanced computational methods. These are something that are relevant to broader engineering disciplines. I think electrical engineers, chemical engineers, mechanical engineers, all work with fluids. You know, even in the context of aircraft, for example, you work with external flow. In the context of chemical engineering, you work with internal flow. You work with mechanical engineering, you work with fuel. Everything is fluids, basically. So we try to tailor our curriculum in a way that it encompasses a broad range of interests. It doesn't answer specifically your question, but I think hopefully it gives you an idea.
Yeah, if I may just add to that, I think that the bespokeness, I think, is something we could highlight here again. I mean, as Bagus has said, there are core modules that everyone will have access to that sort of are very across disciplinaries, but we've always paid attention to how is our cohort made up. Like we know we get students from all over Indonesia with all different kind of backgrounds. And so we do pay attention to, do we have more mechanical people? Do we have more maintenance people in the cohort? And we then do pick those workshops and seminars that we can then cater to the specific interest that we find in the cohorts with regards to topics. So yeah, if we have, 50% people are working on jet engines, we'll make sure you get to hear one or two more things in that area.
Okay, thank you. Well, we still have 3 questions here. I will try to stop the Q&A session for this one. Okay, after these 3 questions, we move along to the next session with Vicky. Okay, I will try to read the second question. Good evening. My name is Dava from UGM. I want to ask about communities at UON. Instead of spending time just attending lectures at the host university in the IISMA program, is there a possibility of joining the internal communities at UON, such as the UON racing team already mentioned in Mr. Bagus' presentation? Is it possible for non-native students of UON to join or get involved in the community? Additionally, are there any suggestions from communities related to engineering in which we can participate? Okay.
The answer is yes, particularly if engineering is involved. For example, joining Formula team, joining drone teams. So in power electronics, there are solar car teams, by the way, joining competitions like solar car competitions in Australia. We're big on that. Nottingham University have been involved in many competitive sporting activities like Isle of Man TT, so creating electric super bikes, for example, and then race it with the likes of Honda and other big names. University of Nottingham electric super bike team got into podium 2 years in a row, basically, in Isle of Man TT, which is it's like a MotoGP, but it's for electric bikes. So you can be involved in like that, projects like that, solar car competitions. We work with universities in Indonesia. The opportunities are endless, basically. These are when it comes to engineering projects, but when it comes to other non-engineering projects, like I said, You can join the Korean dance team if that's for you. That's great. And I don't know at the back of my head how many clubs we have at the University of Nottingham. Shannon, do you know? Is there any? I don't know.
I've just shared a link to all of the clubs and societies in the chat.
Okay.
Yeah, over
What-
300 student groups and over 70 sports clubs available. So have your pick. I think you'll find something for everyone's interest in there. And they're accessible to all our students that enroll here, yes, to the IISMA students as well.
Yeah, another thing that is great in Nottingham is its vicinity to its proximity to Peak District, which is a very beautiful, vast area of mountains and valleys and creeks and rivers that you can enjoy within 45 minutes away from Nottingham by cars or by bus. If you like hiking, for example, these are very great, very clean air you can enjoy not too far away. I really like going there. Maybe we can go there sometime. I don't know if Vicky has been there before. Vicky is just at dorm watching Netflix, I think.
No, I've been there to the
Yeah,
picnic actually.
All right.
All right, thank you so much for the answer. We move along to the next question from Fidelis Havedeo from ACME, Industrial Polytechnic in Cikarang. She has stated, since my major is mechatronics engineering technology, is it related to electrification transportation specialization in the mechanical engineering field of study in the University of Nottingham? And if relates, what kind of things that we will be learned? Thank you.
Yeah, mechatronics is very relevant to all kinds of engineering. When it comes to power electronics, for example, that's just trying to make propulsion technologies or actuators from electronic, moved by electronic architecture. So mechatronics is big at Nottingham, and it's not just within the context of aerospace, but also in the context of, like I said, superbikes and robotics and other things. We get many academics working in that field. And like I said, we keep on improving our core modules as well. So if we see enough interest, so that's why it's really important that we have an orientation week in the end of September. So when you come in the first week, we get an idea of your background interests. For example, if Fidelis comes to Nottingham and interested in getting to know more about mechatronics, it's very easy for us to amend the program to add something into it that can cater to your specific needs. But the key is this communication between us. So it's not, although we have some core modules, we don't set it in stone. For example, the drone team wasn't offered formally, but it sort of developed into something that I think we would emulate because it is of great values to the students. So to answer your question again, yes, if you are majoring in mechatronics, this would be something for you. There's a lot that you can get even beyond transportation electrification, but also mechatronics in general. But especially transportation electrification, for example, like going to ACOM, for example, right? ACOM makes asphalt. Okay, you at the back of if you look at it just as a company that makes asphalt, you might think, oh, what does have anything to do with green mobility or sustainable mobility? But aircraft, even the electric ones, has to land on those asphalt in a runway, for example, and then the specifics of that asphalt would have to be tailored with the specific of the aircrafts. And we work with Ministry of Transportation, and when the Indonesian government would like to implement their transportation electrification agenda, everything has to change. For example, electric cars weight distribution is very different to fuel-based cars. Most of the weight from electric cars is contributed by the battery. And then the asphalt requirements and the infrastructure requirements of the roads and the charging infrastructure has to be specifically designed to cater to that. And so there are many other examples that we can explain to you about your relevance and your interest in mechatronics and the modules that we offer. So the answer is yes.
All right, thank you, sir. Now we move along to the next question. It's interesting because it's not related to ISMA. So it's from Jessica Tiara Maitimu. Hello, I was wondering if we need to work at first to apply for a postgraduate degree at UON, since I wanted to apply for LPDP or other scholarships from UON. However, I am still collecting funds for the documents and IELTS. And is it possible to apply for engineering degree without having any basic engineering major on my undergraduate studies beforehand? Because she actually plans to take business major, but she's still researching on it. Thank you.
Because Nottingham is a top 100 university right now, I think it's included in LPDP range of university that you can apply to. Now, when it comes to specific, like going to business school and their specific requirements, if you want to send me an email with your specific request, I can hook you up with relevant academics that can give you information, or Shannon can refer you to the right people as well. But LPDP, for one, I know shortlist top 100 QS universities, and this year we're happy to be part of it. So regarding whether or not you need to work first, I'm not sure. I don't think so. I don't think you need to work first.
Okay, sir.
Or send me an email. Yeah.
All
I
right.
think at least in chemical engineering, you don't have to work first for postgraduate studies.
Okay, thank you, sir. I think this one is really the last question because if I move to Vicky, it's not related to ISMA again. It's from Jirian Farohi. Hello, my name is Jirian Farohi from 10 November Institute of Technology. Is there any opportunity for me to join the engineering course in NOU because my major mathematics, but I have a little bit confidence because my curriculum is technical mathematics. Do you have any suggestion for me what the major that related to the mathematics and UON?
Okay, now first of all, I'm not sure if Jirian here talks in the context of ISMA or joining University of Nottingham in general, course in course. For ISMA, yes, and because your transfer of credit depends on whether or not ITS can accept that or not. I am a mathematician by formation, so I'm an applied mathematician, like what Alfie had mentioned before. I work in Institut de Mathématiques de Toulouse, and not even until I've never been a chemical engineering student, by the way. I graduated as a mechanical engineer. I did my PhD in physics. My first postdoc was in mathematics. My second postdoc was in earth science, the geology. And now I'm a chemical engineering professor. So, yes, now this is okay. This is something that I really want to share so that the Indonesian broader academic civitas can understand that in the UK or in Nottingham, the boundaries between discipline is almost non-existent. For example, you would see PhD students or master students supervised by supervisors from two very different schools, from engineering and math, for example, because in reality, there is not one problems in the world that you can solve within the confines of one discipline only. As a geologist, I work with mathematician. Well, I am a mathematician and I work with geologists to solve problems of peatlands and others. So if your question is in relation to ISMA, then yes, we would take mathematics major. I think mathematics students have the ability to access all the knowledge given through our modules. You can access fluid mechanics, you can access computational method. You can contribute your thinking into understanding broader aerospace industries for sure. And I think it depends on your university. And I think we did this info session with ITS as well. So the answer is yes. Now, when it comes to majoring master degree or PhD students in Nottingham from different disciplines, you have to send me your email with more concrete information about it. So what we can do is that we can hook you up with mathematics department. I got colleagues there because I work with them constantly. And yeah, we can pick it up from there.
All right. Thank you so much, Mr. Bagus, for the explanation, for answering all of the questions here. Now, before I close this session, because I know that the UN representatives have another meeting at this time, maybe I want to encourage all of the participants to open the camera because we will take a group picture first. Okay. Come on, for other participants to turn on the camera. All right, nice. I see there's Erlangga, Arya, Zainurik,
It's going to
Ismet.
be, by the way, it's going to be a little cold when you come to Nottingham. So if you want to grow your mustache like Vicky, it will make you a bit warmer. So acts like
Nice.
a heater.
Wow, okay, nice tip that you might not find in other session. That's really unique tip
Oh yeah.
from Mr. Vegas. Yeah. Okay, I guess other people might not able due to connection or some or other things. Well, I will try to lead the time. I will count from 1 to 3. Okay, 1, 2, and 3. Okay, once again, 1, 2, and 3. Cheese. Okay, I think that's all for the first session. Thank you so much, Mr. Bagus. Also Miss Shannon and Miss Kristen, who's unfortunately left early
Yeah,
for
sorry
this
about that.
meeting. Yes, thank you so much for joining with us today, like giving such insightful session with us. I hope you have a great day there. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Nadifa. Thank you, Mbak Alve, Mbak Endang, Mbak Ratna. Thank you, Mbak Riza, and all.
Thank you, Pak
Hope to see you.
Bagus.
Okay, thank you. All right, you may leave the room for the next occasion. Okay, now we move along to the second session. We have the Bagus Vicky Ramadan here. Hi, Vicky.
Hi, Nadifa. How's it going?
Yeah, great. I'm so excited for this session. Okay, so we have here the Bagus Vicky Ramadan, who also has been in here with us today. Vicky is 2023 IISMA awardee to the University of Nottingham with the field of study at electrification, transportation, and sustainable mobility. He is a student of applied mechanical engineering, focusing on heavy equipment management and maintenance engineering study program in Vocational College, Universitas Gadjah Mada. After IISMA program, now he is a maintenance and managerial intern at Haxindo Adi Perkasa, which is the sole distributor of Hitachi heavy equipment and component brand in Indonesia. So how is it going there in Pekanbaru? Where do you do your internship now?
Actually, currently, Pekanbaru is very hot because it's beginning to enter the musim kemarau.
I see. Okay, it's totally different from the weather in the UK, right?
Yeah.
Okay, nice to hear that. Okay, I think now that we're all ready to hear the presentation from Vicky, I think for Vicky, time is on your side.
Okay, Nadifa, could you please share screen my presentation? Or okay, that's it. Okay, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good afternoon, everyone. Venerable Mr. Endang Sulistiawati as Vice Dean for Corporation and Alumni, Ms. Alfatika as a Head of OIA UGM, Mr. Bagus Mulyadi as a PIC of IISMA University of Nottingham, and not to forget all of the future IISMA awardee as well. Well, first of all, let me thank you all for coming here today, and I hope you guys are doing well. My name is Bagus Ramadan, but you guys can call me Vicky. It's really such an honor to be here to sharing you guys some insight about this program. Next, well, this is some brief of my background. Currently, I'm a third-year student on 6th semester majoring heavy equipment management and maintenance engineering, part of mechanical engineering department, Vocational College, Universitas Gadjah Mada. University of Nottingham, through this program, offers two major, the electrification, transportation, and sustainable mobility, which is my major, and the other one is aerospace engineering. Okay, next. Okay, I will break this present down into the three following parts. There are academic, non-academic, and the other part. Okay, next. In this academic part, I will deep dive into the academic landscape, for instance, like courses, seminars, workshop, and industrial visit, and also the projects. Next. Well, the courses in this program, either your major was electrification or aeroscape, you will get two mandatory courses. There were computational methods and fluids mechanics. In this computational methods, at the time, I taught by Mr. Adilan, where I made many code program on MATLAB to solve engineering cases from simple to the moderate level. And I learned how to make the GUI as well on the MATLAB. In the fluids mechanics, I gained a deeper understanding, the integrative, the conceptual comprehension with practical mathematical. And the chapter that I got there was viscosity and shear stress, hydrostatic, fluid static, manometry, Bernoulli law, viscosity, flows in pipes. Next. Okay, the seminars. In terms of personal development, we were provided with the opportunity to attend seminar led by a professional. It's significantly broadening my engineering perspective and enhancing my soft skill actually. Firstly, on your left-hand side, I got a session from Dr. Iftihar Ahmed, who taught us about mind waste processing. Like the Bagus mentioned before, it's actually very interesting because he proposed solution involves transforming the waste into the medical application. The secondly, I'm lucky to get opportunity to attend the Endgame live session by Gita Wiryawan. And yeah, he taught us about the Indonesian opportunity for the next 10 years globally. Thirdly, I experienced the industrial communication by Matilda, where she provided us with a variety of technique on how to do the presentation effectively. But there is still more seminar we got there, and I'm not put into this presentation. Next, workshop. Yeah, since all of the IISMA awardee at University of Nottingham has an engineering background, UON provided us with an enormous workshop related to the engineering. This workshop aims to further enhance of our skills, particularly to the field of engineering. On your left-hand side, it is a flight simulator by Boeing plane, so I could understand how to the aircraft actually works. Next is the catapult. Next the catapult teamwork workshop. In this workshop, all awardee were divided into group of 4 with each member assigned a specific role. Each group had to develop a catapult from raw materials. The catapult must throw the object away as far as possible. Throughout the development process, we applied the method called RASA, which are retrieve, appreciate, summarize, and ask. Next is a coating blade technology led by Prof. Tanvir Hussein. During this session, we gain insight into the various aspects of coating application on turbine blades and engine material. He showcased us about effort between Rolls-Royce and UON laboratory as well. Yet there's numerous other interesting workshops we participated in. For instance, like Bagus and Christine mentioned before, I get opportunity to get certification called Lean Six Sigma, which is the professional certification at the yellow belt level. Next slide, please. Okay, the industrial visit. As we know that the differentiate between the academic program of IISMA for undergraduate and vocational lies on industrial exposure, which is the feature specifically designed for vocational path. Industrial exposure has many schemes, such as industrial visit and internship, where it depends on each host university. In my previous batch, UON only offered industrial visit. However, this opportunity has played a crucial role in enhancing my understanding of the international work environment. Okay, first company that we visit was ICOM. It is a company that has been developing a lot of UK infrastructure and recently has been innovating for the smart road environment based on IoT for the last 10 years. Secondly, I visited Airbus. This company showed us how to design, test, and manufacture the wings of all Airbus aircraft. For instance, like A320, A330, and 350. The third industrial visit activity was not a company, but it was a exhibition. This exhibition was a platform for all the company from all across the UK with the advanced engineering technology. By this opportunity, we can directly interact with the expert and ask them how the technology is actually works. Next. Well, I think the project, IISMA Nottingham is encouraged us to do the projects with professor, like Bagus mentioned before. At least we have a big picture about a topic related to our major at home university. However, you have to mark it was not mandatory. As you can see on the screen, is it my note from our project with my group with the title is Modernization of Jakarta Public Transportation or Jaklingko into the electric-based public transportation to overcome the mobility of Jakarta resident with Professor Surojit. Okay, so you have, if you have many ideas to develop with the lecturer or even professor here, I think Nottingham is an answer. Okay, and next, I will move to the non-academic part, where we will discuss more about the community, IISMA challenge, and IndoSocs. Next. Okay, community. For you guys who want to know more about the community in University of Nottingham, please kindly check by this link on the screens, like this one. The two pictures below is where my experience to join the taster session by badminton and volleyball community. And on your right-hand side, it was a picture from an event called Freshly Week for Student, but if in UGM it called like Gelanggang Expo or Galax. Okay, next is my challenge. Okay, my batch were created to big events. They're called Heroes Day and Sumpah Pemuda. These two events were aimed to promote Indonesian culture and being engaged with international student there. Next. Indosoc, yeah, as we know that Indosoc is Indonesian society where the society filled with Indonesian student in the level of undergraduate. Okay, next. Yes, we entered the others session, which is the thing that's still relevant to the IISMA program. Next. Okay, campuses. As a matter of fact, UON has two other campuses outside the UK. It is in China and Malaysia. In the UK, there are three campuses. They are University Park, Jubilee Campus, and Sutton Bonington, where all of them are located in Nottingham City. Next. Okay, facility. As a top 100 QS World Ranking university, UON provided us with a lot of modern facilities supporting academic and non-academic landscape. The first one that I will discuss is Hopper Bus, which facilitates the student mobility between the buildings and even between the campuses. The next picture is modern library. UON provide the student with a modern library for every department. Every department has their own library. Moreover, some of them is open for 24/7. For all Muslim, you don't have to worry about finding a place to pray, as Nottingham is an inclusive campus where you can easily find mosques nearby. Next is the David Ross Sports Village. It offers world-class sport and fitness facility at University Park. Undoubtedly, University of Nottingham has been recognized with a sport university for 2023. Next page. Okay, dormitory. My dormitory back then was Raleigh Park. It's 2 minutes walks away from Hopper bus points, and it costed around 124 GBP per week. Yeah, you have to pay it per week. The facility I get there were obviously a room, laundry room, and freebies. As you can see, I get a free jacket and etc. We often get free food accidentally and regularly. The development of this dormitory met some event, and fortunately my dormitory is located opposite the Lidl, so you can easily walk to it whenever you need it. And not to forget, this dorm has also a common room where we usually did some meetings and play games like ping pong and billiard. Next, the lifestyle. Nottingham's living cost in UK is relatively affordable. Personally, since I cook my meals regularly, I find that it costs only me around 20 to 30 GBP per week. Okay, if you want to wash your clothes, you can use the washing machine there. It costs £1.5 to wash and dry. The public transportation in Nottingham are trams and city bus. But if you're looking to purchase the clothes or anything related to the warm clothes, you can visit the Primark for the new item. But if you are into the thrift shopping, Waitrose is I think Waitrose is a great choice. Next, the entertainment. You don't have to worry. Nottingham provides us with a lot of interesting activities so you can explore. For instance, like ice skating, stadion for the Nottingham Forest Club, Goose Fair, Winter Wonderland, or even the cinema. Okay, next. The tourist attraction in Nottingham has 3 most visited. There are Wollaton Deer Park, City of Cape, and Nottingham Castle. According to the popular tales, as you know, that Robin Hood is originally from Nottingham as well. Next. Okay, I think that's it for me. I'll give it back to the moderator.
Okay, nice. Thank you so much, Vicky, for the presentation. Such a great presentation that we get to know more about the facilities, the courses in the University of Nottingham, coming from his experience becoming one of the awardees of University of Nottingham. Okay, now I will open the next session for the Q&A. For all the participants who want to know more about anything regarding the material, you can just type it on the chat box or turn on the raise hand feature, and we will let you turn on your microphone and ask the question directly to Vicky. Okay, now here we have Zainurik Abe from Polynema. Okay, Zainurovic, you may ask your question. Please turn on your
Good evening, everyone. My name is Zainurovic from State Polytechnic of Malang. It's actually only a trivial question, but actually, do we meet a winter season while our studying periods on Nottingham? Like, I know it's only like 4 months, but do we actually meet the winter season, or it's only an autumn season? Thank you.
All right, thank you. Okay, Vicky, you may answer.
Okay, thank you for the question. It's very interesting question because as we know that Indonesia doesn't have a four-season country. It's not a four-season country like the UK. But back to the time when I arrived at University of Nottingham, it was on early September, which was it's already entered the autumn season, but the winter season in Nottingham will commonly started by early December, I guess. Yeah, but if you want to experience snow, I suggest you to go to the Highland, which is in the Scotland, while you do your winter trip. Yeah.
Okay, thank you. Yeah, I want to add more about the winter break. It's right that both in our host university in IISMA, me in the Coventry and Vicky in Nottingham, there's snow, but there's not much of snow like what we might picture in our head. So we have to go to another country, but still in the UK, which is Scotland. And there you will find like much lot of snow. So like it thick snow, like it's really great. It's really great. Okay, you raise your hand again. Maybe you want to propose another question, a follow-up question.
Yeah.
No, it's still regarding the previous question. I mean, you say that we could like experience the snow in Highland, Scotland. Means like, do we actually have a time to travel to another country? I know it's still in the United Kingdom territorial, but do we actually have time? Yeah.
Okay, okay. Let me answer your question. Yeah, you obviously have a time to travel around UK if you be already at University of Nottingham. The time that you will use to travel is in December because we all do the winter break, which is all of the university activity will be closed. Yeah, so you can use your time to go to the London or even go around the UK. Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. And also we have a lot of weekend. Like I mean, some of me and my friends also go to another city during the weekend, right? Vicky did it
Yeah.
also. I saw
Yeah.
in his Instagram. So yeah, if the question is, do we have time? Of course, we do have time. Okay, I think that's all the answer for Zainurofik. Is that clear enough, or is there anything that you would like to ask again?
Yeah, it's really helpful from both of you guys. Thank you very much.
Thank you. All right, next. Is there anyone who want to ask the question regarding IISMA, regarding host university or host country?
Yeah, maybe you're free to ask about the traveling like
Yeah.
he did before or anything related to IISMA.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Sure. Okay, now we have Deva Rizky Prayoga. So to Deva, you may ask the question.
Good evening, everyone. So my name is Dava from UGM. My question is, many people say that native people are known to be hard to approach. And so can you tell us about your experience about how hard it was to socialize with the native people there, and how you managed to keep up with them. Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Okay,
Vicky, you may answer.
I may answer it first. The University of Nottingham has a student with different background, so you could free to being mingle with the society. Like based on my experience, I improvise it with join the community activity like I mentioned before, like a pastor session from the badminton and volleyball community, so we can expand our connection, or even I know the people from the Malaysia, Africa, or even the Palestine, or yeah, it's very diverse there. So the thing is, you have to become a proactive student, because I realize that the people there is very individuals. So if you do not proactive, like saying hi first, um or chit chat with them first, you cannot be communicate with them. See.
All right, thank you, Vicky. That's right. I think it really it occurs to any host university, any host country, like even in Indonesia, when we want to be friends to others, like we have to be confident enough to start the conversation, so we can talk to them and then get to know more about them and just be friends to one another, right? And one of the ways is just like what Vicky did in Nottingham is by joining the societies or clubs in the university and then meet a lot of people, not just the native people, but the people from across the world, like a lot of people from different backgrounds. Okay, thank you, Vicky, and also thank you, Deva, for the question. Is there anything that you would like to ask? Any other follow-up question, or is it clear enough? Okay, it's already answered. Okay, thank you for asking. All right, before I hand over the session to MC for the closing, is there any other question regarding the presentation? Okay, now here we have Kak Jessica. Okay, hi Kakak, this is Jessica, a fresh grad. Would like to ask, how did you manage your money in the UK? I'm planning to have my postgrad, but I'm raising funds for the documents. All right, so Vicky, maybe you can share the tips or the way you manage your money.
Okay, it's very crucial question and sensitive. Well, I manage my money with um, cook my meal like every day. I do not eat at the restaurant every time I go outside. Uh, if I uh, the the funny thing is, every time I travel to the city outside the Nottingham, the day before I travel, I always buy the bread, croissant, or even the cookies from the Lidl to uh to avoid eating the restaurant. I think, and you have to um learn how to cook, because I believe that uh you will be the cocky in the Nottingham or even other city. Yeah.
Yeah. Nice. I agree with you. I couldn't agree more because just for the context, if it's postgraduates, I mean like it goes the same because I know several people who are pursuing the masters and also like PhD in the Coventry University in the UK, and the key is that really like cook the food by yourself, because it just plays a very different cost by buying your food in the restaurant and also just making one by yourself. And also, if you don't have any idea about how to cook something, you may just buy some like instant food, like something that you can just put in your microwave, and then that's all. You have just to wait 1 until 3 minutes, and the food is already to serve. I think that's it. And also the Lidl is one of the market in the United Kingdom, and I think it's the cheapest one, right?
Yes,
Comparing to
exactly.
others.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think it's not really hard, but it's not really easy either. It just depends on how you maintain how to consume foods, because the food is like something that we have to like you eat every day, like it's the primary needs, and then it plays like a really important thing in managing the funds, right? Managing the money. Okay, I think that's all, Kak Jessie, that we can share to you. Is there any other follow-up questions or any other question regarding UK, maybe in general? Or is it clear enough? Okay, I think that's all. And if all the participants, if you still have any questions regarding the IISMA, regarding university in the UK and how it relates to our experience, and maybe you just can contact me and contact Vicky and also Mr. Bagus and all, and then we surely will give some help to it. Okay, maybe you can just contact us on Instagram, right? Maybe if you search for the OIASPUGM, and then there's the poster of this event, and it's staked our both of our Instagram, so you just can DM us. Okay, I think that's all for today's session in the material and also the Q&A session. Thank you so much for the speaker, for Vicky here, and also like another speakers from University of Nottingham who unfortunately had to leave the session early. I'm Nadifa as the moderator. Thank you so much for the opportunity. Thank you for all the participants here who has been participating actively in this session. So now we hand over the session for the closing to Ratna as the MC. Thank you.
All right, thank you, Nadifa, and a big thank you to all of our speaker, participants, and viewers who join us today for the IISMA 2024 info session with the University of Nottingham. I also want to express my gratitude to Mr. Bagus Putra Mulyadi, PhD, Miss Anan Beverstock, and Miss Christine Kofer sharing valuable insight, and to Bagus Vicky Ramadan for sharing his experiences as an IISMA alumni. Special thanks also to Dr. Endang Sulistyawati and Miss Alfatika Aunureliadini, SH, MKN, PhD for their insightful remarks. And a big shout out to our moderator, Nadifa Rizketa Agustina, for guiding us through today's session. To all participants, whether here on Zoom or watching on YouTube, thank you for your active participation and thoughtful question. And before leaving the room, don't forget to fill the attendance form that already provided on the chat box. As we wrap up, let's remember the valuable knowledge we've gained today and the connection we've made. To those who are considering applying for the IISMA 2024, especially to the University of Nottingham, we wish you the best of luck. May your dream take flight and may success be yours. Thank you once again, and we look forward to meeting you again in future events. Take care and have a fantastic day.
In the tapestry of time, there are moments that shape who we are and illuminate the path to our future. In a world of constant change and relentless innovation, we find ourselves in the midst of a disruptive era. Technology evolves at an unprecedented pace, industries transform overnight, and new challenges emerge with each passing day. life as we know it has changed, demanding a new set of skills and perspectives to navigate this ever-evolving landscape. Responding to this challenge, Vocational College Universitas Gadjah Mada is committed to provide a practice-based learning ecosystem that encourages students to have critical thinking and problem-solving skills, to master the knowledge, and to be innovative and adaptive to rapid global changes.
Vocational College, which was founded in 2009, is a faculty in Universitas Gadjah Mada conducting applied science programs. Currently, there are 22 applied undergraduate study programs consisting of social and science groups.
For over a decade, we have been dedicated to nurturing generations, imparting knowledge, skills, and values that transcend time. At UGM Vocational College, we believe in bridging the gap between theory and real-world application. Through hands-on experiences and practical learning, our students develop the necessary skills to thrive in today's rapidly evolving landscape. We foster a learning environment that nurtures critical thinking and problem-solving, ensuring our students are well prepared to meet the demands of the future. We recognize the utmost significance of academic facilities, particularly laboratories, as crucial pillars of support. Hence, we prioritize their continuous development and ensure their availability to fulfill this essential requirement. We strive to foster collaboration and partnership with industries, government agencies, and other universities both domestically and internationally to actively support the realization of the three dharma of higher education. At Vocational College UGM, we believe that education extends beyond the classroom. We are dedicated to providing a transformative learning experience that prepares students for success in their chosen careers. Vocational College UGM remains committed in addressing societal issues at the local and national level by actively collaborating with diverse stakeholders in research endeavors. In addition to conducting research programs, we also actively engage in community service initiatives to make tangible contributions to the nation. Vocational College UGM